Yes guys, and welcome to the next rendition, to the next video, as the full focus now towards Stockholm, the HYROX World Championships. So we are a week after the race in Cardiff. My kind of training in the week after it was just a little bit all over the place, took a bit of recovery, and I actually recovered a lot quicker than I usually would, or than what I normally do. So I just played around with a bit of training towards the end of last week. But now we're going into that real purposeful structure, that block now as we lead up to Stockholm. So yeah, just reflecting again on the Cardiff race. It was a great result. Great performance from myself, but that is well and truly in the back burner now. It doesn't really matter anymore, so we've just got to take the positives from it, implement it into this next block, and then it's the big showdown in Stockholm in 5 or 6 weeks time now. So my training will stay almost identical to what I was doing on the lead up to Cardiff, with one hopefully significant difference, and that is adding some running on top. So as you know, my running volume was way reduced preparing for the Cardiff event, just with that knee niggle that I had. However, with that seemingly cleared up, I get to add the running volume into my preparation for Stockholm. Now, I'm not going to go crazy, I'm not going to go mad, I'm not going to just pound the pavement and accumulate kilometers. I am going to do the majority of my long aerobic zone 2 work on the bike still, and I'm going to add 2 specific running sessions in per week. They will be an interval based session, and also more of a tempo based effort, and then any running involved in the HYROX conditioning sessions will also count towards my running volume as well. So I'm not going to be out there, like I said, doing any long hour and a half, even hour zone 2 runs. All my running is going to be speed work essentially. So yeah, that is the plan moving into the block, preparing for Stockholm. So we start a fresh week. I've got some erg intervals to do later, but for now it is some strength work to keep the strength work going. So yeah, let's crack on and let's start preparing towards Sweden. Okay guys, so I've shown you in the past, but let's have a look how you check out your interval work. So if you press memory, list by date, and then this was me there, so I'm going to press this magnifying glass, and this is going to show me my intervals, what I have just done. So you can see the breakdown. It's 1,000 meter efforts. See the time it took me, all pretty consistent. This was my average pacing per interval, So all within 0.2 of a second, and this was my stroke rate. So all pretty consistent. So that was the 1,000 meters work, 90 rest on the ski. Took an additional 30-second rest, so a 2-minute break as we moved on to the rower. So as you can see, if I turn this on, memory, list by date, today's date, magnifying glass, and here we go. Okay, so, and again, this was the time it took me to row the thousands. So all pretty quick. See that N1 there? I had someone next to me doing the workout, as you saw, and she said, come on, little kick at the end. So anyway, pushed it a little bit, which is a bit naughty of me. But you can see the time it took. 45.5, 45.6, 45.6, 45.6, 44.4, so it was a second quicker. And again, this is my stroke rate here. So that would be the purpose of your interval training, is to hit each of them at a consistent level. And obviously, as you progress through the intervals, you do have to put a little bit more work in each time to achieve that consistency. But yeah, there we go. There is my breakdown of the session we have just done. And there is Ian. Yes, guys, track time. So there's the setting. Sun's coming out, which is nice. I've just been coaching the class this morning. After that, quick drive down to the track, get my set done, and then back to the gym, another class, another one-to-one PT, and then a few bits to do in a little bit. But the set this morning is going to be 400s. So I'm going to have a nice 10-minute warm-up. So I'll probably cover about a K.5 plus some mobility drills, plus some strides in there as well. So a good 10-minute warming up. And then it's going to be 400s with a minute rest times 18. So we're going to go 18 rounds of that. A pace that I'm going to be looking to hold for the 400s is around 3:05 to 3:10 pace. So not absolute all guns out, but a very decent pace. And towards the end of the sets, then it will start obviously getting that little bit more challenging to hold that kind of level. So yeah, that is the objective for this morning's set. So yeah, best crack on. Just got to get back to the gym, get this done, and then yeah, we'll check in later. Right, just finished at the track there. It's the first time in a long time I've done 400s on the track. I've been used to doing them on the assault runner. Therefore your pace is displayed on the assault runner, so you can keep a constant eye on it. I quickly realised at the track, when you're doing 400s, that it's very hard to know what pace you're running, because as you start your set or your interval, your GPS is obviously tracking your speed or your pace, but it takes a little while to play catch up. And also on the Garmin's, it only does it to every 5 seconds, so it'd be like 3:10, 3:05. It wouldn't say, for example, 3:08 pace. So, and also when you're doing 400s like that, because you are going at such, a relative intensity, it's quite hard to keep glancing down at your watch, I find anyway. So what I did instead, I completed the first run in 1 minute and 16 seconds. Now that quickly brought back the times
that I used to do it in, or that I've done it in the past, and it was always about that 75 seconds, somewhere around that. So instead of going for pace, I was going to go for time and see how consistently I could hit each interval. And then at the end, which I've done now, which I'll share with you, I've converted that to pace. So my intervals were 116, 115, 115, 114, 113, 114, 114, 113. And there's quite a lot of 113s, 114s. I actually finished with a couple of 112s. So there was only 4 seconds differentiation between all 18 intervals. The first one was 116, the last one was 112. So disregard them two, because I went a little bit slow on the first one, a little bit fast on the last one. The middle 16 were actually really tight, all within 1 second. So that's what you're aiming for, that consistency. Now, converting that into pace, it works out over the 18 intervals that I've just done at 3:04 pace. So 3:04 minutes per kilometre. That was the average pace over all 18 intervals. So all in all, that is pretty good, because last time I did it on the assault runner, I did 16 sets. I started at 3:10 for the first 8, and then 3:05 for the final 6. So therefore, to average 3:04 on the track when you've got wind resistance as well is a little bit of progress, bit of relative progress for me. So happy days. Having not done it on the track for a while, and first time doing 18 sets, that is a hard effort. That's a hard session to complete, especially just trying to keep that consistency. A minute's break is quite long, so the first 200 meters you think, yeah, I've got this. Second 200 you quickly start blowing. But all in all, a really good session. Really glad to get that speed work in. As I've referenced in this video, I am adding that running volume on top of my training now. So yeah, hopefully as we move in towards Stockholm, that's just going to make me that little bit quicker, or well, maybe a lot quicker on the running, because that is, in my opinion, where the race is going to be won or lost. And when I say won, I mean first place, and when I mean lost, I mean second place or below. So yeah, let's go, baby, let's go.
All right, we are back on our usual Wednesday session, which is the 90-minute watt hold. So I've been crediting this session for a lot of benefit, a lot of the reason why I feel like I'm performing pretty well and getting pretty fit. It's because I'm sitting on this bike for 90 minutes at a high wattage, a high output, which is increasing my aerobic power over a sustained period. Now, I've got some boys coming in today to hit this session with me. It's always nice doing it as a group. Obviously, just crack on when it is just me, solo, but seeing as we've got some volunteers to come and do the session as well today, then I'm more than happy for them to get in here. We'll get the tunes pumping, and we'll encourage each other all to have a great session, basically. So pre-Cardiff, pre-race Cardiff, my last time doing this session, I held 242 watts as the average for the full 90 minutes. So I haven't done this session for a while now, maybe 2.5 weeks, because of the race in Cardiff, because of a bit of a recovery week after it. So this is the first time since that 242 watt effort. So 2 things, I haven't done it, so I might not be as kind of conditioned to doing it, and also I feel like I'm back after Cardiff now, but I've had a little bit of bit of a random week last week. It's only this week where I've started to add that structure back in as we prepare for Stockholm. So therefore, again, might not be up to scratch today. So I'm going to start with a target of, I'm going to drop it down to 235. That's going to be my target today, 235 watts. However, if after, let's say, 15 or 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then I'm feeling pretty good, that, yeah, I can give this a little bit of a push, then I will take it up to 242, 243, 244, just to see if that aerobic hold, that aerobic power output is in the legs, is in the body's capability. But the target will be 235. We'll see how we go. I'll be filming kind of during the session, and I'll give a little post-session analysis as well. But that's the target, guys, for the 90-minute C2 bike watt hold. So as you will see from that vid, it was 235 watts. So yeah, about 20 minutes in, I thought, right, this is me today, which is absolutely fine. More than happy to regress before progress. So that is 7 watts slower than I did, 7 watts, sorry, less, not slower, 7 watts less than I did pre-Cardiff. But like I said, it's absolutely fine. It's the first one after a couple of weeks. Also, I ran yesterday, so I was doing all that bike work with no running. So legs are a little bit, I suppose, tired, fatigued from yesterday. So a couple of factors, but not worried about that at all. On the lead up to Worlds, I will be progressing that up. 242 is the current kind of max I've held. So I'll look to hit that again and progress beyond that. 245, maybe, God, even up to 250. Now that would be an achievement for me to hold 250 watts for 90 minutes. But why not set that as the goal before Worlds? Also had a couple of the gang in with me today. Always makes it that little bit more enjoyable when you got people around you. So we had Steve, we had Tom, and we had Alex join us a little bit later as well, which is fabulous. Yeah, a bit of a time budget for myself today, so everything has been like to the minute, to the half an hour. I've actually just left the gym. I've left the guys there. Quick tidy up, just left home, shower, bit of a feed, and then quickly back out the door to go and pick my little girl up from school, which is nice. Spend the afternoon with her, and then yeah, tomorrow's another day. I've had 3 days which have been pretty tough, to be fair. So tomorrow will be nice and easy. Suppose I was meant to be running tomorrow, but after the runs yesterday, legs feeling just a little bit heavier, tight in the calves, as you'd expect after kind of not doing the 400 meters for a long time. So listening to the body, nice easy day tomorrow. Scrap the run and maybe push that onto Friday's session. So that's that. I will catch you soon. Yes, guys, so 8:50 on Thursday morning, 6,000 steps done, 2 hours on the bike done, 2 classes done, another class coming in now, newsletter done, and social media updates done. So after this class, I'm actually going to nip home, and I'm actually going to try and get a little nap in. Sleep off the charts, poor. Only 4 hours 59 last night. I was in bed pretty early, but just, yeah, things racing around in the head. Woke up and I just thought, right, I'm just getting up, got lots to do. Let's just crack on and get after it. This is by no means a like badge of honor I'm trying to wear. I like value rest and recovery massively. It's just the sleep thing just ain't really happening for me at the moment. But my advice to you is to really focus on your sleep. So hence why I'm going to nip home after this next session and try and get a nap in. So Thursday, I have got massage later. I'm back to the gym. I've got PT and I'm coaching the evening class as well. The guys are competing in HYROX Barcelona. The other coaches, are competing in HYROX Barcelona today, tomorrow. So I'm taking all the sessions at the moment, which again is fine. It's my business. I own it, and it's absolutely great. But it is nice to kind of share the load sometimes. So that's the plan for today. Friday, tomorrow, complete rest. So I'm not going to do anything tomorrow. I'll obviously just stay active. I've got a really busy morning here in the gym, so I'll stay active. I'll be moving around, possibly in the sauna, but no training tomorrow because I'm gearing up and setting up for a double hard day on Saturday. So the idea after Tuesday's run session was to run again, maybe today, maybe Friday. But I've decided against that. I'm pivoting, and I want to do a really good quality run session on Saturday. So one of my sessions on Saturday will involve running. It's going to be like a compromised effort, so it will be a lot of HYROX specific work, inclusive as well as the run sets. And the other session will be some really hard, probably air bike work. I've got a workout which I do, which I program to my guys, which is 50 calories on the air bike as hard as you can, straight into 20 burpee broad jumps, done as fast as you can, but obviously keeping the quality. Then you get a 5-minute rest, and you repeat that as many times as you can in 60 minutes. So that will probably be one of my sessions on Saturday, and like I said, the other one will be a very HYROX specific one, inclusive of running. A lot of sled work in there as well, I would imagine. So that's Thursday, guys, and you won't see me now until the session on Saturday. So I will catch you then. Yes, guys, right. So a few things changed. So the plan was to take Friday as complete rest, as I explained. However, a few things have changed. So I've had to pivot, I've had to adapt. And now Friday was double hard day. So as you've seen there, again, I explained it. The first session of the day was 50 cals hard on the air bike, followed by 20 burpees done fast with a 5-minute rest. And then round 2, 50 cals air bike, 3 lengths on the sled, again done fast with very minimal rest, and then 5-minute rest. So we did that 3 times each, so 6 in total.
and it absolutely hurt. Your legs are feeling really heavy towards the end there. You feel like that 5-minute rest is enough, which it is for the purpose of the session, of course, but that accumulative fatigue really does catch up. And then what you've just seen there is me and the main man, the general. He's one of our coaches at ACE, Rob. He's also in Chicago last year for the World Championships. He finished second in his age group. He's 58. He competes in the 55 to 59 age group, and he's still at the very top of his game in terms of his age group, even though he's pushing towards the end of that age group. So yeah, an absolute legend in our gym, coaches for us as well. And it's always a pleasure to train with him. He absolutely guns it. So what we did is something called HYROX, and slightly adapted it. So it is minute ski, minute row, minute bike, and then we set the timer to 5 minutes. We hit a certain amount of distance with an outside run, and then rested for the remaining time of that 5 minutes before repeating that process again. So for myself, it was 20 cals on the ski, straight on to 20 cals on the row, straight on to 20 cals on the bike, which gave me about a 5-second rest before heading out into a kilometre run. But where we run, like from the gym, we've got a 500-metre marker set up, but by the time you get out of the compound where the gym is, hit that meter marker and come back, it's probably about 1.15k, so it is slightly over the k. But anyway, I was going to that sign and coming back, then resting for the remaining time. My first 3 runs were done at 3:30 pace, so that really pushed me. My heart rate was high. I found it challenging. The second 3, I slowed it down to just sub 3:40 pace. I think it was 3:36, 3:37 and 3:39. And it is remarkable just how by slowing it down by 6 seconds, 7 seconds, 9 seconds, just how more, and I say this lightly, comfortable the runs felt. Which also bodes the question, which I get asked a lot: can I knock 10 seconds per K off my running in an HYROX event? Now that is a huge and monumental task. People are under that kind of false illusion, I feel, that the running is an area where they can vastly improve. Now, running is probably the key area where you can improve because it makes up the majority of the event. However, to knock 10 seconds per kilometre off your run time, that is a big task. Because today, the first 3 runs at 3:30 compared to the second 3 at just sub 3:40 felt well different for me in terms of heart rate, in terms of control. But obviously, for the purpose of the session I just did, I wanted to push the pace on those first few runs because to get the stimulus, and I'm looking to get faster. So on the 7th run, after the 7th set on all 3 ergs, I went out at just under 4-minute pace. The reason being, I'm a little bit deconditioned from running like that, after hammering some station work and then going straight out. And therefore, I felt a little bit of cramp coming in the calf and the hamstrings after run number 6. So I just took the pace down to just sub 4-minute pace. And another reason being, what we did there, again, as you'll have seen, as we came in off that last run, we hit 100 wall balls. So I just wanted to come in a little fresher to make sure that I gave a good account of myself in terms of the wall balls. And yeah, I did. I felt good on them. Managed to get the 100 unbroken, as I regularly do in training. But it's just trying to apply and put that into the event, because that's always the target, right? 100 wall balls unbroken in a HYROX. Easier said than done. So what does that mean? That means tomorrow will be nice and easy. Sunday I will take completely off in terms of training. I've got a nice busy day with my little girl. We go swimming usually every Sunday, and that is the case this Sunday. I get to spend a lot of time with her, so I will take Sunday as a complete rest. Tomorrow it is going to be a little bit of light bike work. It may just pop up into that zone 2 for a couple of hours, only because I haven't done too much of that this week, and I do feel like I'm due one of them, which doesn't tax the body too harshly, so I'll be good for that, I think. So that's probably the plan for tomorrow, and then we'll close out the week with a nice little swim with my little girl, and then that, guys, will be that. And with 5 weeks now until we line up in Stockholm, so yeah, I guess this is signing off for another vid. So thank you again for watching. I do appreciate it. And I appreciate the feedback people are leaving more comments, getting a few more subscribers. So yeah, I don't know where I'm taking this, but it's all good fun, and I hope I'm adding value. I'm enjoying doing it, so that's the main thing, right? But anyway, yeah, thanks again, guys, and catch you in the next one.